Okay guys, welcome to the first episode of the Complete Noobs Guide to Minecraft. This is series 1, the basic basics. This video particularly is just based around the principle that you've just bought the game, you kind of want to find out how to play it, how everything works and stuff like that. But if you have been playing the game, I would recommend watching these videos anyway, because I'm going to cover quite a lot of ground with them. So there might be something you've missed, maybe some hints and tips and things. Now, the entirety of these videos is going to be based on my knowledge alone, based on the videos I've seen on YouTube and also on the reading up on the game, the wiki and things like that. So if I get anything wrong, I will desperately try and research, make sure I don't get anything wrong, but if I do get anything wrong, then please let me know and I'll correct it. So first up, you load up your game. This is Minecraft after you've bought it off Xbox Live. You've got the Minecraft store down there for avatar items and things like that. We're not going to worry about that for now. If you want to have a look at that, then go for it. It's just there in the menu. So starting up your first world, when you first start playing the game, there is a tutorial map that you can play, but it's up to you. I mean, it can be a bit disjointed. It's very good. It does cover every aspect of the game, but it can be a bit disjointed. You essentially have to kind of run around and find the tutorial areas for each different type of thing that you can do within Minecraft. So create a new world. You've got various options. You can make it an online game, let your friends play, invite only, or allow friends of friends. It's up to you. You can do a community world, however you like. And then obviously you need to come up with a name for it. So we're going to call this one Noobs Guide. I'm going to create two worlds for this. I'm going to create this one, which is going to be a fully fledged, fully formed world, and then the other one's going to be a super flat world, which I'll explain later. So now your seed, basically seeds are a random string of generated numbers that define as to what the map is, where the forests are, whether there's, you know, what kind of mountains there are, how much sand there is, that sort of thing. So you can leave that blank for a randomly generated number, or you can write in a word or numbers yourself if there's a specific phrase you want to put in and see as to what it comes up with. It will generate a world using that phrase. So you've got two different game modes, survival and creative. Survival is the mode that you'll be playing quite a lot. You've got health, you've got to eat, the monsters can hurt you, that sort of thing. Survival's the one that you're going to get all your achievements on, or your leaderboard stuff. If you're playing creative, you won't get any of that stuff. Creative is useful for trying things out, building things. You know, you've got access to all the different blocks there. So if you want to try and build some different stuff, see how things work a bit more. If you see anything in any of these videos you want to try and replicate, then go into creative, create a world and do it that way, and it means that you're not wasting hours of time trying to build something using blocks that you've had to dig yourself for ages. So right, so you've got the difficulties as well. Peaceful difficulty basically will spawn any passive mobs, which will be covered in the next video. Basically no monsters will spawn. That's the idea of peaceful difficulty. It means that you can carry on, do whatever you like, you know, you won't get attacked, all that sort of stuff. For a lot of new players, that's a good way to start the game. It gives you a chance to play without being attacked all the time. And then obviously you've got your normal difficulties, so I'm going to leave this on easy for now. You've got more options, so you've got player versus player, which is obviously you can hurt each other. You've got trust players. Trust players is quite handy. It allows you to let people use mines or use items, or, you know, can they interact with stuff basically. Now if you're playing an adventure map, if you make an adventure map or you're hosting a world, it's quite handy to turn trust players off, and then you can get to know who the players are, and then you can give them the privileges as they play, sort of thing. And also for an adventure map, you can make it so they can't break blocks, which means they have to follow the story and stuff like that, which is quite handy. But I'll cover adventure types of maps, different types of worlds and stuff later on. So you've got fire spreads and TNT explodes, both very self-explanatory. For a starter world, it doesn't really matter which one you go for, to be honest. You just got to be aware of the dangers, be careful for it. I'm going to cover the fire aspect in the lava video later on, which is a later episode in this series. And then you've got host privileges. Again, same as creative. If you turn the host privileges on, then you won't be able to get any achievements or leaderboard stuff within the game. Even if you turn them back off again and load the world up again, it kind of registers it, so you can't do that. But with those, you can fly, you can turn invisible, and you can turn exhaustion off, which means you don't need to eat, which I will cover again in a later video. There's a lot of stuff for Elysium, for example. I've got host privileges on, and I've got player versus player off, and stuff like that. So it's, you know, it's just how you want to play your world, pretty much, whether you're playing on your own or with other people. The world options are specific to the world you're creating. So generating structures will form villages and strongholds and things like that on the map, and then super flat world will literally create a flat surface. The entire map will be flat, and it'll be 3 blocks deep to the base level. And then the bonus chest, which if this is your first world, I'd say do the bonus chest because it's going to have a few tools, bits and pieces in there that you can use to get started. So yeah, basically with all these things, you just set them up how you want the game to play, what you want your experience of the game to be, basically. My settings for my single player world are completely different for Elysium, the community world, and then my creative world, where I fiddle around and try and experiment with stuff, is again completely different settings again. So for this one, as a starter world, we're going to generate structures and we're going to have a bonus chest in there, and I'm going to leave everything else the same. So once all that's set up, you get everything how you want it to be, then literally it's just a case of creating a new world. Now this can be a process that takes a little while, but that's, there's no problem, we can wait. Yeah, so this series of videos is going to be 10 videos long. This is only series 1, the basics. After that I'm going to do some more series. Again, each of them are going to be between sort of 6 and 10 videos each. I'm aiming for under 10 minutes for each video, but the second video, the mobs, does run over a little bit, so be patient with it. But some videos will literally only be 4 or 5 minutes long. It's dependent on what I'm showing you in the video, but I can guarantee you all 10 videos that are in this first series are relevant for people that haven't played the game very much or just getting started in it, basically. So, right, okay, so there we are. So the world's loaded up. You'll find yourself in the spawn area. This is where everybody will spawn on this world. If you invite your friends in, this is where they'll be. Now it's up to you. You can start building here straight away if you want to. Entirely your choice. Something worth bearing in mind is your skins. So I'll just go back out of there and I'll show you. So you pause the game and then it's help and options, change skin, and it's simple as that. And you've got these different tabs up at the top here. There's a huge amount of skins that you can change. Now the birthday skin pack is a free pack, which you can get just downloading it by free, and obviously the default skins will also come with the game as well. Then you've got 4 skin packs. This is one I've purchased, and you can see they've got different characters from different games and things. And this one I haven't purchased. So you've got random sort of stuff, and then you do have characters from games and things. Now, if it comes up with a padlock, that means you cannot use that skin. So with the skin packs, even if you haven't downloaded them, you will find that there are some skins that you can use within those packs. Like this one, for example, you can use all these skins even without purchasing it, but there's some that are still cut off that you have to buy. So it's worth having a look through there, see if there's something you want to look at, see as to how you're doing. I've gone for the Sheep Man, one of my favourite skins. So yeah, inventory. You'll always start with a map. Anytime you come into a world that you've never been in before, you will have a map. If you enter into a friend's world, you will have a map. Now, if you look at the bottom left of the screen, you will see, as I look around at different items, the buttons will change. You'll always have your crafted and inventory, but the trigger buttons will change. Whether you can mine stuff, whether you can use stuff and things like that, it's always worth bearing in mind that those buttons are there. And then when you go into your inventory, you have different buttons again. So you can either pick something up, exit, or quick move, or you can right trigger, which is what's this. You can do that on any item at all, and it will come up with a little description as to what it's for. So if I hit right trigger for the map, it will come up with a little description as to what it is. Up here, you've got your armor slots, which we'll cover in a later video, and a little picture of yourself. As you put armor on, it will change your picture, so you'll look slightly different. This is your main inventory box, and then this strip at the bottom is that bar at the bottom of the screen there. Which you can change. Left and right buffer will switch between the different items. So if you press Y quick move, the map will move from your main inventory into your quick bar, and the map essentially is just going to show you the area around you. Don't ever press B with an item because you will drop it, so be very careful with that. Just press left and right trigger, left and right buffer to change the item. So yeah, the map, you've got X, Z and Y. Now X is your left and right or east to west coordinate. Z is your up or down or north and south, depending on what you prefer. And then Y is your depth. So if I just dig a quick hole here, you'll see the depth will change, the Y coordinate will change. Now Y, I believe, goes, obviously if you reach 0, that's the base of the map, you can't go any deeper, but I believe it goes up to 128 that you can build at. And X and Z, as far as I know, the worlds are literally about 800 blocks each way. So it will go into the minuses, like you can see there, the X is on minus. So yeah, this is the starter chest, which I showed you. Actually, hold on a second, I'll show you. If you press back, you'll come up with all these options as well. Now, this is my player, so I can't change anything there. If I had the host options on, I could fly and things like that. But it's useful to know that within the game, you can press back button, go to the host options, and you can turn fire off and stuff like that. Like I say, if players come up into the game, you can change them to moderators, you can change whether you trust them or not, depending on which options you set when you created the world. So, the starter chest, here you go, it's all randomly generated. So in this one we've got some tools, we've got some bread, a little bit of wood and stuff like that. Really handy. If it's your first world, then use this chest because it's going to give you everything you need basically. So that's what to expect in your first world. If you set your settings to the kind of optimum kind of settings to use a new world for, that's the kind of thing you're going to get. You're going to get randomly generated by the seed, and then you're going to get a starter chest and things like that as well, as long as you've got that turned on. So now I'm going to create a different world. It's worth bearing in mind, like I say, that all these videos I will be using the worlds in creative mode just to show you how things work a bit quicker rather than building everything all the time. However, if there's anything that comes up, for example in the tools one, I will show you how to make the tools, basically how to get started on that. Now the second video is going to be mobs, so you can identify what everything is in the game. And then the third video is going to be the basics getting started, so we'll show you how to make the essentials you need to survive, which is essentially a bed, a crafting table and a furnace. Once you've got those three things, you're well on your way to getting anything you want in that game. You can build pretty much anything. They're the basic kind of equipment that you need pretty much, but that's going to be in episode 3. Episode 2 is, like I say, about identification of mobs, what they drop, what they are, which ones will attack you, which ones will kind of just amble about. Most of it is common sense, but I'll go through it all in the second video. Now this is just loading up the super flat world. There we are. This is what happens with the super flat option on. You will literally get a completely flat world, and again, because I haven't been in here, I've got a map. You can see a village has been generated over there in the distance, but we'll come back to that later. And because it's in creative mode, you can make yourself invisible, and also in creative mode you can fly by double tapping A. Yeah, and you can just fly around. So there we are. So various mobs and things already spawned, so we're going to cover that in the next video, but that's it for now. I've created both the worlds, and each video I will be taking you into either one or the other, or a combination of both, and explaining the different principles of how to play the game. I hope that's got you into the game, so you know what you're doing, how to create a world and what to expect and stuff. Keep your eyes open for the next episode, which is all about mobs, and like, comment and subscribe, and I will catch you soon, guys. Take it easy.